Alright everybody, welcome back to another War Thunder video. Haven't posted in a while, haven't really been playing top tier, it's sort of a mess. Also graduated university and started working, so it's just been busy. But in anticipation of the MiG-29, which I really want to play, no matter how silly the BRs are, I want to grind it. So I open War Thunder, and lo and behold, the MiG-19 is 9.3. Which I almost could not believe my eyes. Now, the MiG-19 is an incredibly strong performing plane. So much so that even in a full up tier at 10.3, you can confidently fight and win. There's a couple exceptions that give it a hard time, which I'll go over later. But it is exceptionally well performing, and in a down tier, it's almost comical. It's even more comical than when the MiG-15 was at 8.3. This thing at 9.3 is a monster. Now, the reason it's at 9.3 is because people don't know how to deal with A-10s and all-aspect missiles and missiles in general. And so I wanted to showcase this gameplay, as it's a nice gameplay, but it also showcases how exactly I deal with these A-10s. So one way you can guarantee yourself to be out of the A-10's reach is by gaining altitude. I'm not a huge altitude gainer in high tier, to be honest, most of the time, but against these A-10s, it seems like a really good strategy. I'm flying out with my squad mate Jack again. It's just really nice to have a skilled, skilled wingman to rely on. But what I do, and because the MiG-19 is so incredibly powerful, is I just gain enough altitude so that I'm guaranteed to be 5 kilometers above the A-10s. Also, my hard drive is acting up. I apologize. There's going to be a few of these stutters throughout the match, which is super annoying. I'm just going to not record to my hard drive anymore. But yeah, it'll just be something that exists. So right over here, this is a little bit of an anomaly. There's not normally that many. It's actually quite funny. Here's the whole gang of A-10s, whole squad of them, and we have our own A-5 bravely going into the fray. It's actually, I find it hilarious how many missiles are being shot at this A5, how many it actually manages to avoid before finally getting shot down. There's actually friendly fire as well. One of the A-10s shoots down another. And so now I am totally above all the A-10s. I know where they all are. I'm confident I'm not going to get surprised. I have an awareness of where any of these missiles are going to be coming from. The other thing you can generally rely on is for A-10 pilots they are just not that skilled. These are generally new players. They're premiums. They don't have experience with jets. Their awareness is not very good. And here I come in, right on the back of one of the A-10s, and it's about to freeze at the most horrible time. But I come in. He notices me at the very last second. It's a very easy kill, trust me. And then I move on to the second one right here. I actually fire an AIM-9B at it. It misses, astonishingly, and then I have to shoot that one down. I try to get a third one. Of course, this is the clip where it doesn't really freeze up, and I miss. But there we go. Now, immediately I'm getting out of here. I hold the air brakes for way too long. If, one or two of those A-10s was actually a really good pilot and had really good awareness, it could have given me more trouble. But since that wasn't the case, and honestly it's usually the case that they're not, I can just fly away. And now I have a full idea of where all the A-10s are. I know where, and as long as I keep track of them, I'm safe. And as long as you're safe from these all-aspect missiles, you're just an overpowered monster. And then you need some trigger discipline, right? That just comes with experience, and it really just comes with experience. You need to know how to fire the guns. You don't have a lot of ammo. You gotta be sparing. You'll notice that all the bursts I take are very short. You should never really be spraying unless there's like some sort of scenario where there's one guy left. But there we go, easy peasy. Quick pick off another A-10. And that A-10 dies. So the only last A-10 is over there, and now it's just going to be using this brutally well-performing aircraft to pick off the rest. I mean, we've effectively won the game at this point. But in another scenario, you could, if you don't take it as seriously, you could easily get picked off by one of these A-10s if you're not aware, because you can dodge the AIM-9Ls. They're not invincible. It's not just like this godly thing that will always kill you. But it's not easy. It's not very easy, and it's not something I can. Maybe someone else has figured it out, but it's not something that I can reliably do. Here we go. See, like, what? I don't know what this guy's doing. Maybe he thinks he's doing a dodge. Nope. Just absolutely tear him to shreds. I don't know if the 30 mils got a buff, or if I'm just aiming better, or what, but these things are absolutely destroying everybody. Most of the time, it seems like it's a one-shot, whereas I sort of remember getting more hits previously, like a year or two ago. I don't really know what happened there. Another big freeze up, which is fantastic. And what we're left is with this Harrier. There's an F5, and then I think there's a 104. I see the Harrier is going about 5 miles an hour. Very easy kill. I'm a bit suspect about the AIM-9B, so, you know, I sort of refrain from taking a shot at the F5, but the missile connects anyways. Now, the F5, now, and mind you, this is a full up tier. This is probably one of the best planes, or in the worst matchups, at a full up tier. The F5C, it's a really, really strong plane. I've actually gotten caught out several times and killed by them. The most times I've been killed by another aircraft has been by an F5. They are very good, especially if you find a skilled pilot. You got to be super careful. Although the thruster weight ratio of the MiG-19 is such that you can still totally fight them. You can fight anything, and you can easily beat almost anything. So I'm actually low on ammo. I have no missiles, so I'm gonna retreat. I'm gonna go back to base, and then get back into the fight here. But really, what I wanted to sort of showcase is how to deal with these A-10s, and that's the strategy I've been using. It's been very good. The other saving grace is that, due to this being, you know, a Russian plane, you basically never see Su-25s, and you rarely see A-5s. The A-5s are not fun to deal with just because they're so fast, so it's not as easy. You can't just make that calculation where, oh, if I enter the fight at 6K, it's impossible, I'll get hit. You can't really make that same calculation with the A5, but you can with the A10. And then the F5C, again, very strong plane. A lot of the pilots are not that great. They don't know really to know what they're doing. And so keep in mind, I am grinding the MiG-23 MLD right now. I never actually unlocked that, so I am going to be going for some XP here. And the last plane on their team is a F-104. Now, the F-104 kind of sucks to go against because while, you know, he's not shooting you down, you're not going to shoot him down either if he keeps his speed. I actually intentionally, well, I think I can get this Yak 30. I intentionally try to get him on my 6. Maybe he'll follow me. Maybe he thinks he has a chance. He doesn't follow me, which is the right call. And so how I'm going to approach this situation now, we have actually pretty clutch. We have a Lightning. There's another big freeze there, so I just cut it. We have a Lightning, they have an F-104, and I'm not going to just chase this F-104 around forever. It's not really efficient, and it's not going to do anything. It's actually going to increase the odds that he keeps running. Also want to highlight quickly, came way too close to yeeting myself into a building there. Thank God I popped the air brakes. But I want to wait and to see if there's going to become an opportunity where this Lightning and the F-104 actually engage each other. Because the F-104, if he thinks he's alone with a Lightning, he can start fighting it. The Lightning is a Greyhound bus, and it does not fight at all. And the F-104 does, you know, you can do something with the F-104 against the Lightning. I come in here, I'm hoping for some sort of Hail Mary AIM-9B. He goes into the sun. I can't really shoot, but he's close enough to where I'm going to pay attention. I do take a shot here, maybe he'll overreact, but he doesn't. And then now, instead of just following this, like, which would decrease the odds that he's going to want to maneuver, I'm just going to pull off. I'm going to pull off, I'm going to try to make him think I'm going to go back to ground pounding, and he can just kind of be alone with this Lightning. If his awareness was very high, he'd probably notice that I'm not actually pulling off, but it does look like that Lightning is gaining on him. The missile maneuvers were enough to where the Lightning is getting some shots on him. He's kind of forced to maneuver here, and maybe he saw me, maybe he didn't, but he does virtually the worst thing you could do in that scenario, is which he basically goes vertical. He forces the Lightning to overshoot. Okay, fantastic. But unfortunately, I'm here. I see him. He's got a nice, huge afterburner there. You can see in that frozen still. And then, you know, easy AIM-9B kill, and the match is over. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I've been having an absolute blast in the MiG-19. It's incredibly strong, and you can totally abuse the fact that people don't know. This is an audio test. This is an audio voice test.